Hi guys, and welcome to my review of A Nightmare on Elm Street 3 Dream Warriors. I first watched this, I think it was in 2018, yeah, because I have seen the first one a few times throughout my life, so yeah. I finally watched the third one in 2018, I think. Yeah, it was late 2013, obviously in the October month. And it's been 2 years since I last watched it, so yeah, now I'm reviewing it. So I am gonna review the Nightmare on Elm Street movies that I like instead of the ones that I don't like, which I'll be saving that for next year. So next year there'll be a full playlist of movies to review. Horror movies anyway, even bad ones. But yeah, this one basically continues after, I guess, the first one and kinda ignoring the second one. Well, you can basically say that it did. Since it focuses on the characters from, well, also bringing like new characters, but it does focus on two characters from the original movie, which is Nancy and her dad. Even though we don't get to see too much from the dad, I think they show more of him in the fourth one. They also make us think that he's, well, I'll talk about that later. I'm first going to start off with one of the new characters who I guess starts to have dreams from Freddy. And like after the dream, it looks like she cuts herself, but it was actually Freddy who did that. Kind of like in the first one with Nancy, and the injuries and stuff, and how that led to other people getting blamed for it, or just thinking that you're crazy. But that's what happens to this girl, and then she gets put in a psychiatric hospital. Yeah. So yeah, she's put in a psychiatric hospital with other kids who start to have similar dreams as her, which we know that Freddy's basically trying to kill her. Just like Nancy, which we find out that Nancy also works in the place where these kids are. Well, she's kind of new, but yeah, she has experience in Freddy, so she kind of knows what's going on. So she tries to help him out and protect him through most of the movie. But of course, a few of them do get killed. Is it like 3 of them? Yeah, I think like 3 of them get killed. There's one that gets like because one of them wanted to be like a movie star or something, and it's kind of it's kind of funny what they do with Freddy in this one. I kind of like his one-liners a lot more. Yeah, they definitely do better with that in the third one. The first one had some okay ones, but yeah, third one I definitely prefer those ones. Well, the one with the the needle, yeah. But yeah, the TV one, since she wanted to be a movie star or something, I kind of like that line what he says. And then the other girl, I think she was on drugs and stuff before, and she was probably taking that, especially when she was having dreams about possibly Freddy. I don't know if she actually had a dream about Freddy, but we just know the one with the blonde hair is the one who has actually taken on Freddy, and it seems like she's done the best. But I sometimes get mixed up with the two girls with blonde hairs, like because one of them does die. They get that TV death. Lol. That death's just so funny. That's like the funniest death in the movie. And then there's the needle one. So yeah, she basically gets killed. And then there's like 3 who do survive though. I also forgot to mention the one with, wait, I think he's like the one who's just like the loudmouth and stuff, but he doesn't really last long, and he gets like probably like the most, I don't know if I should say the most disturbing, but the way how they did it though. He has his hands and legs out, and then like he's getting pulled like strings, like it's like his veins or something are open, and it's just Jesus. It's like he's getting pulled by a string, and then when he gets to the clock tower or whatever that was, and everyone's just screaming, because everyone basically notices him on top of the clock tower. They kind of show like Freddy controlling him and then cutting the line with his claws. That was a cool scene. And what other death? Well, there was someone who nearly died, but I don't know if that's the main blonde person or let's get messed up between the two. Because I haven't watched the movie for a long time, so it's not like I'm gonna know their name by heart compared to the other cast, in the first movie. Because I've watched the first movie so many times. But yeah, because Glenn, I'd probably say he has the most iconic death in the series. They do have some really cool kills here, but just not as good as that one. Like, it doesn't beat that one. But yeah. But yeah, there's also another doctor who I guess kind of trusts Nancy for the movie, compared to that other lady, who seems like she's trying to get him killed. But who would believe that people, getting killed in their dreams? So yeah, but Dr. Neil listened to Nancy, so he was able to do something about that. There was also like the Morbius actor. Like, he was in this movie, but he didn't get too much screen time. And I can't even remember if he's in the fourth one. I don't think he is, because I don't know if they're still in this place. I think they get let out, and I think they won't be that close together, so they'll just get picked off going in the fourth one. I think I can't remember. I just can't remember the first one. I mean, the fourth one that well. So like how it goes. But yeah, like I said, Nancy, she's trying to help him. And since she has experience with Freddy, she goes into the dreams with him, especially when they get to a point where they can all be together in the dream, which comes into the title Dream Warriors, where they take on Freddy. Because they're both, like, some of them are, well, basically all of them are split up once they go into the dreams. They're proper dreams. And, Nancy did say, like, you could die once you go into this deep sleep. And, some of them do, which, the girl, I think the one who used to do drugs, like, she gets killed by Freddy. She does put up a okay fight. And it's just funny with the hair that she has. That spiked up hair. 2 knives. I guess one of her other fears just got the better of her, and then Freddy just stabs her with the needles, and he says, "Oh, what a wash!" Like, oh my god, that scene. Oh yeah, there's also a scene later in the movie where Freddy basically lifts up his shirt, and then you can kind of see all the souls that he's taken, all the kids that he's murdered. And I guess he's added more to the collection after this movie, especially one that I wish didn't die. Because that's one of the things about this movie. Like, every time I watch it, I'm always gonna not like that scene, which I'll talk about near the end. But yeah, it is a good sequel though. Fourth one, obviously not as good as the third one, but still decent. And then Wes Craven's probably like the last one I liked, but I don't even know. Would you say that's more of a spin-off or something? For what it does, since it's based in reality instead of the movie universe. So basically, like, all the Freddy movies were like, a movie, just like in real life. But then you see that the real actors experience, the actual Freddy. I don't know, something like that. Basically, the movie Freddy comes to life in the real world, and it goes after the real life people, I guess. AKA the one who plays as Nancy. Yeah, that's how that movie goes, but I did like that one. I think I like that one more than the fourth one. Yeah. But yeah, we're talking about the third one right now. So yeah, once they, like I said, like, they was fighting, once they get into their deep sleep, they're trying to fight Freddy, but a few of them do get killed off. On one of them earlier, like, I have to say this part since they eventually get to him. One of them end up in a coma. I think it was the one who doesn't speak through the movie until a certain point. Well, it kind of doesn't speak in real life anyway. Because this is one thing, when they're in their dreams, it seems like they have some sort of power to face Freddy with. So they kind of have more of an advantage in the third movie compared to the first movie where they're just running away and they're just eventually going to get killed. But Nancy still put up a good fight, even without the kind of things that they have in this movie. Because one of them like has this athletic ability, like I think the blonde one, and then one has like super strength. I think that's the black guy. Like, he's probably like the funniest character in this this movie. Freddy, pussy. That line, man. Yeah, he's funny for the whole movie anyway. The quiet one. Well, like I said, like he basically has like a dream where one of the people in the psychiatric hospital is making out with him, but it's actually like a trick, and then he basically ends up in a coma. And then that's when, Nancy sees the sign, what is written all over his body. Yeah. And what else am I missing? I think, well, that's when they decide to go and save him, since they still have a chance to save him. But in a way, you could say that was a trick to get him all in the dream. And it kind of works out for him. Well, I could say mostly, since only 3 people actually get out of the dream. 5 people entered, 3 only made it out. But yeah. Also, I'm missing an important storyline. It does give some more insight to Freddy's, past and how this all started. So his mother basically got trapped somewhere, and she basically got raped by all these prisoners because I think she was in a cell, and she basically got locked in there, and then she got raped several times, and when she finally got out, like damn, she kind of had a baby from these people, which was Freddy. But she's a nun as well, so man, because we see this done through the whole movie, and she tells this story, but we don't realize who she is until like the end, where we see her grave. So basically, Nancy's mother kind of guides Dr. Neil like what to do with the movie, and then that's when Nancy does talk to her dad, but it just seems like he's just trying to forget everything that happened. But in a way, if he actually paid more attention to his daughter, which I guess I'm gonna say now. So yeah, Nancy dies in this movie. And it's kind of like the only thing about this movie that I don't like, and killing Nancy. I feel like they shouldn't have killed her in this one. It's kind of the only flaw for me. Like, she could have at least stayed in one more movie, like the 4th one. So at least I could say this movie is a perfect sequel. It's definitely a great sequel, but I just can't go any higher because of the Nancy death. Like, it didn't seem like she had to die, and the father just being a drunk through the movie. Even the doctor caring more about her than the actual dad in this movie. Yeah, he kind of stepped down from the first one. Because even though he wasn't believing what Nancy was going through, he still like was making sure she was safe. But in this movie, he's just like a drunk, and he only starts to do something at the end. And when he finally faces Kruger, which he kind of knows what they're trying to do because, Kruger's mum told him to burn the bones to get rid of Freddy, and then that's what they go do. And basically, Dr. Neil, gets the drunken dad and takes him to the gravesite, and then that's where they try to burn his body. But then, like, Kruger kind of realizes what's going on because at the same time he's taken on the old sheriff's daughter and the kids that she's trying to protect. So he kind of leaves them alone for a few minutes, which I also forgot to say that the guy who can't talk, who's in a coma, like they was trying to save him. Well, they kind of do because there's like a scene where he has him like tied up and he's gonna fall into some lava or flames, but they basically save him by working together. And then he kind of gives him like a breather because the others are like Dr. Neil and Nancy's dad are about to burn the bones, so he kind of texts them on, and man, he just that skeleton. It seems like you could have easily taken that out, but they both get wrecked, and it seems like the dad dies as well, but he's actually still alive. Which they use that as a man. When I first watched the movie, I didn't think the dad died anyway, and then when Freddy takes care of both of them, one ends up in the grave, and then the other one, who's that's his dad. Like we think that he's dead in that moment. So when they get to the scene where Nancy's dad appears in the dream world, I did think that part was real. But it was actually a trick from Freddy to get her close, and then that's when he got the killing blow on Nancy. Whip. That's where it all ended for her. She still protected like 3 of them, so it was kind of like she did do a good job. Even like after she got stabbed, like she was still holding him off until Dr. Neil actually got back up from the grave, which he's the one who fell down in the grave, and he burns the bones. So even after Nancy got stabbed, she was still fighting Freddy. She's even able to stab Freddy with his own claw. And then once they burn the bones, Freddy disappears. He just spins around, hello, and then disappears. So basically, the mom helps defeat Freddy in this movie. But yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. Like I said, it was a good sequel. I just wish they didn't kill Nancy. I kind of wish she was in one more movie, but in a way we do get to see it again. Just not as Nancy, as her real life self. In Wes Craven's New Nightmare. But yeah, oh well. I still like the 4th one, but it's a step down from the 4th one. But I'd still watch the 4th one over the 2nd one, which is the worst one, 5th and 6th. I'm not really sure how many proper sequels there are. I don't know if the 6th one is Freddy's dead, or if there's like a 7th one, and then there's the crossover with Jason and Freddy. And then there's the reboot, which there haven't been a movie like 10 years after that reboot because it was so bad. But yeah, well, it wasn't. It's just they shouldn't have changed so much in the reboot. But yeah, that's my whole review on the 3rd movie, Dream Warriors. Great sequel, but I just don't like one choice they made with killing Nancy. But yeah, guys, I'll review the sequel after I review Halloween H2O tomorrow. So I'll review the sequel to this movie on Thursday, but tomorrow it will be H2O, one of my favourite Halloween sequels. Alright guys, I'll see you in the next one. Peace. With